Miami, Texas A&M. Massive game. Both teams, Hurricanes. I'm glad they're in the CFP playoff. Deserve to be in. We've talked about that, obviously, throughout the past few weeks. But this is not an easy game at all, right? Texas A&M had one loss and dropped, obviously, to number 7, right? They've been top tier all year. They lost to their rival, Texas, right? We know they can run the ball with, obviously, Raheem Owens on the ground. Marcel Reed, I thought, had a Heisman candidate worthy season. Not saying he should have won it over, obviously Fernando Mendoza, but he's been in that conversation all year. Thought he played well. Texas A&M also got some good news today. Mario Craver re-signed up with them, so that's some cool news for the Aggies. But a team that can hit you in a whole bunch of different ways, man. This game will come down to really the trenches, right? For my Hurricanes, I think we got one of the best offensive lines in the country, led by Francis Magawa. Can we protect Carson Beck, right? Can we get the running game going with Mark Fletcher, and our dynamic duo, in rushing attack, right? That's gonna be key for me. Establishing the run in this game, early on, and then hitting our receivers down the field, right? Malachi Tony, freshman sensation. I think it was ACC Offensive Player of the Year, or ACC Rookie of the Year, Freshman of the Year, whatever you want to say. Had obviously a great season. But for Carson Beck, man, these big games he struggled. And turnover the football, right? I think he had 4 of his 6 turnovers, or 4 of his 10 interceptions. It was Louisville, SMU, and it's like Texas A&M is a team. You can't turn over the football, right? You turn over the football, you might not get it back, right? Or you turn over the football, they could run away with the game, right? So that does concern me as a Hurricanes fan. Like, do we have enough? Not necessarily enough like talent. I know we have that, but do we have enough? Can we get enough from Beck in this game going up against the Aggies on the road, right? Because it's going to be tough. It's tough to play at Kyle Field. It's tough to play against the Aggies. That environment is next level, right? Obviously, Beck's played in some big games, but this is a massive one at noon, right? It's for our playoff lives. And really, to think about it too, like Miami's playing for the ACC. ACC didn't have its best year. Unfortunately, I thought it was very competitive, but it didn't have its best year, right? And a win over SEC opponent. Can you imagine what that does for the ACC? Can you imagine what that does for Miami and the Hurricanes potentially? Now, don't get no easy because you win, you play Ohio State, right? But can you imagine how great of a game that would be? So if you're the Hurricanes, establish the run, be physical. You're gonna have to hit Texas A&M in the mouth, right? And that's hard to do. We got guys and pro level guys like a Cassius Howell and guys that can get after you like a York, on the defensive side of the ball. It's tough. And then they got really good corners as well. You got Scooby Williams. I didn't even mention him. He's another outstanding player for Texas A&M. They got dogs all over the field. So to win this game on the road, it's not gonna be easy. But you need Beck to take care of the football. That's the bottom line. And you gotta establish the run. And when the shot plays are there with Malachi Tony, CJ Daniels, and some of those weapons you got, you're gonna have to hit them in the mouth. Right? Defensively, for my Hurricanes, what's key is same kind of thing. You only have to, and the thing with Miami is they perform really well against running quarterbacks. We've seen it all season long. They perform well against these type of guys, right? But you're going to have to close down the pocket. You're going to have to make it tough. Like big games they won, like beating the NC State running quarterback and CJ Bailey, limited him, right? Marshall Reed is a different animal, right? But you got guys like Akeem Messidor. You got guys like Ruben Bain, right? Messidor with 7 sacks, Ruben Bain with like 4.5. You have those guys, but the key thing is to contain your rush lanes, right? Have even sometimes a QB spy on him. Don't let him flood the pocket because that's where he's dangerous. Because he can flood the pocket, he can run, or he can throw that big play down the field. So keep integrity in your rush lanes, batter and pressure him all game long, and you need to probably a couple turnovers or two. Now, Texas A&M is dangerous when they got the running game going to pair with the passing game because they got guys like Kevin Concepcion. They got guys like Mario Craver that can hit you down the field. Now, I like our secondary, Bryce Fitzgerald. I like our cornerbacks. They've been playing well all season long. And I like the ways that we can obviously rush the passer. But you're going to have to maintain gap integrity, rush integrity all game long. Marcel Reed will lice all game long. That's going to be key for my Hurricanes in this one, man. Um, Call me biased. I love Texas A&M. I love what they can bring to the table, but I'm going to roll with my Hurricanes, man. Upset victory for us over Texas A&M. Won't be easy. This team can play. It's tough to win at Kyle Field. They have everything they need. They've been playing at a high level all season long. But I like my Hurricanes, man. I believe in them. I think they're going to be ready to go. And I think they're going to be able to create that pressure on the quarterback, you know what I'm saying, in this game. And it's going to be key for us if we want to have a chance to be able to get the yak yardage, be able to make guys miss, which Malachi Tony is good at, and being able to get up the field quickly and not turn over the football. That's going to be key for us in this game if we want to come out, obviously, with a victory.